Hi, I'm Bob.
Hi, I'm Bill. We're
We're
twins.
I have the understanding from oral history that my brother Billy's the oldest twin, and he says he's 20 minutes older, and he uses it on me all the time.
And I recall on my birth certificate, which I don't have any longer, up in the corner there was a numeral 2 on it. Now it meant two babies born at the same time, or I was the second baby. So it's tough to say who's the oldest.
We were raised in Astoria, Queens. City block, all row houses, plenty of kids, lots of fun.
Blue collar neighborhood, I would say. Middle class incomes.
We played all the city games: roller hockey, stickball,
Ball.
ring-a-levio, strike box, stoop ball, tag.
Hey.
We were one of 8, but the reason for that was my father died very young and left my mother with 5 children. And
She remarried with about 7.
we acquired 3 stepbrothers, so at one point there was 8 of us in the house, and Billy and I were the very youngest, and they were all our bosses, of course, so we had to combine our energies to outsmart them whenever we could, outwit them, but we never were too successful. And as kids, we got along pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so. There were moments we didn't, of course.
Most of the time we did.
Most of the time we did.
We had to get used to sharing.
Yeah.
Because there's, it was 2 of us and sometimes only one bike.
One baseball glove. We slept in the same bed as adults even. Did my mother ever dress it? I know she did as when we were children. I vaguely remember it and I see photos. But from the age of reasoning, it didn't happen that often. But as children, I saw photos where we did.
And there were set times where we had to. Our first Holy Communion, we wore the same clothes, of course. And
Easter Sundays.
Easter Sunday, she got us the same outfit.
Yeah.
As soon as we were old enough to protest, it stopped. We didn't do it much anymore.
At the age of 40.
By coincidence, we dressed similar often, and not knowing it, he'd come over my house and having a blue blazer and a red tie, and I'd be there with a blue blazer and some sort of red tie, or we'd both be wearing the same color sweater or something like that. Not prearranged, it just happened that way. But there are some advantages being a twin that I sort of like. Blame got shared. Something went wrong. It wasn't me, it was him, or we both did it. I like that aspect of it. Also, and then chores got around, we had somebody to share it with, and you always had a comrade when you were in trouble.
Comrade in arms.
Yeah.
It was once in a while it would
Great
conversation piece.
Open up
Yeah,
people.
yeah. They'd say, anybody here a twin? And I'd say so. Or
And another angle with the twins, we had relatives, older aunts and uncles, that always referred to as a twin. I had 2 or 3 children, and I was about 30-some years old. And my aunt would call up and say, "Are the twins coming?" We were always the twins.
referred to as the twins.
We were a unit. We weren't individuals. My main career was, primary career was, I worked in the district attorney's office in Kings County as a grand jury reporter, taking testimony. A lot of cases that were high profile. One example was the Son of Sam case I dealt with. Took testimony on. A lot of stories, a lot of testimonials. It was hard work, but it was a lot of excitement and a lot of newspaper articles and everyday television stories. I was right in the middle of all of that very often. That was exciting. I retired from there.
Well, right now I'm retired. I've been retired for, I guess, 16 or 17 years, maybe 18. I work for one of New York's leading advertising agencies called Kenyon and Eckhart, and then became Bozell Jacobs Kenyon Eckhart on a merger. I was there for 43 years. I started out in the mailroom and morphed itself into general services, and I was assistant to the office manager for quite a few years, and I retired in 2000. I believe I started in 1956 or 57.
Thinking about it, my brother and I being different, I think we're more similar than we are different. More different in a few areas, not many. As I said, a few food habits. He eats some things I don't like, and vice versa. And I don't know why. We're raised in the same house, the same kitchen, but we're similar with friends. Our friends are all much alike. Our wives aren't much different. Our entertainment tastes seem to be about the same.
He'll watch something, see a movie that I wouldn't bother going to see.
We both voted for a different president, though. That was a little different.
Bob is more of a reader, more of a television watcher. I like to get up early in the morning. Robert's a late getter-upper, somewhat.
I would say being twins, I'm pleased I was one. We had a lot of kicks out of life because we were twins. We always had our own company. We always got on each other's side. If anybody ever, we would come to each other's defense. I noticed that. If anybody would say something about him, I'd be right there, more so than my other siblings, I believe. And we'll have a lot of memories, and in the end, I'm very happy he was my twin brother and I was his twin brother.